Hey everyone, welcome to the video. Today we're going to be going through a CompTIA A Core 2 practice test. Great if you're preparing for the 220-1202 exam or you just want to strengthen your IT support skills. We'll be using Skilltestpro, which offers realistic, up-to-date questions that match the actual exam format. This test covers key topics like operating systems, security, software troubleshooting, and operational procedures, so it's a solid way to check your readiness. All right, let's jump in. First question. A technician needs to remove a virus from a user's computer. What should be done first? Delete all user files? Disable Windows Update? Reinstall the OS? Or disconnect from the network? The correct answer is disconnect from the network. Disconnecting from the network prevents the malware from spreading or downloading additional malicious files. All right, question 2. A technician is helping a user who is unable to open certain files on a USB drive formatted with NTFS. The user is using a macOS computer. What is the best solution? Is it convert the file system to HFS+, format the drive to XFAT, install an NTFS driver for macOS, enable BitLocker encryption, or disable antivirus software? The correct answer is install an NTFS driver for macOS. macOS can read NTFS formatted drives, but it cannot write to them without third-party software. All right, question 3. A technician needs to choose a file system for a new Linux installation that supports journaling and file permissions. Which file system should they use? FAT32, XFAT, ext4, NTFS, or HFS+? The correct answer is ext4. ext4 is the standard Linux file system that supports journaling and advanced file permissions. All right, question 4. A user reports that their computer is running very slowly. The task manager shows that the CPU is running at 100% and multiple unknown processes are using system resources. What is the first step that the technician should take? Is it update the graphics driver? Run an antivirus scan? Increase the page file size? Reinstall the operating system? Or disable user account control? The correct answer is run an antivirus scan. Unknown processes consuming high CPU usage are often signs of malware infection. All right, question 5. A user reports that they are unable to install software updates because of insufficient disk space. What is the best tool to resolve the issue? Event Viewer? Windows Defender? Disk Cleanup? Task Scheduler? Or Device Manager? The correct answer is Disk Cleanup. Disk Cleanup removes temporary and unnecessary files to free up disk space. All right, question 6. A user complains that their Windows laptop frequently displays pop-up ads, even when no browser is open. What should the technician check first? Task Manager for suspicious background processes? Screen resolution settings? Windows activation status? BIOS version? Or the printer spooler service? The correct answer is Task Manager for suspicious background processes. Persistent pop-ups often indicate malware running in the background. All right, question 7. A technician needs to securely remove all data from a hard drive before disposing of it. What is the best method? Delete all files manually? Disable the user account? Change the file system to XFAT? Low-level format? Or move the files to the recycle bin and empty it? The correct answer is low-level format. A low-level format permanently erases all data, preventing recovery. All right, question 8. A user reports that their antivirus software is constantly being disabled and unknown programs keep installing on their Windows PC. What is the most likely cause? a rootkit infection, a faulty RAM module, a misconfigured firewall, an outdated video driver, or corrupt display settings? The correct answer is a rootkit infection. Rootkits can disable security software and allow unauthorized installations. All right. Question 9. A technician is configuring security settings on a Windows 10 computer. The organization requires that users be prompted before installing any new software. What should the technician enable? Windows Defender Firewall, Windows Recovery Mode, User Account Control, also known as UAC, Secure Boot, or Event Viewer Logging? The correct answer is User Account Control, or UAC. UAC prompts users before allowing software installations in order to prevent unauthorized changes. All right, question 10. A user is unable to open an encrypted file that they created last week on Windows 10. They recently changed their Windows password. What is the most likely reason? The file system is corrupt. The encryption key was tied to the previous user credentials. The Windows Update service is disabled. The file was converted to a different format, or the file has been quarantined by antivirus software. Yes. Correct answer is the encryption key was tied to the previous user credentials. Windows encrypts files using user credentials, and changing the password can cause access issues. All right, you guys are doing great. Let's keep going with question 11. A user is having trouble connecting to a corporate VPN. Other users can connect without issues. What should the technician check first? Monitor refresh rate, Windows activation status, the user's firewall settings, printer spooler settings, or device manager? The correct answer is the user's firewall settings. Firewalls can block VPN connections, preventing access. All right. Moving on to question 12. A technician needs to configure file sharing on a macOS computer so that a Windows user can access shared folders. What file sharing protocol should be enabled? AFP, NFS, SMB, RDP, or FTP? The correct answer is SMB. SMB, which is also known as Server Message Block, is the standard file sharing protocol for Windows and Mac OS interoperability. All right, question 13. A user reports that they accidentally deleted an important file and they need it restored. What tool should the technician use? Group Policy Editor, Task Scheduler, Previous Versions in Windows, Device Manager, or Windows Defender? The correct answer is Previous Versions in Windows. Windows allows users to restore previous versions of files if file history or system restore is enabled. All right, question 14. A technician needs to create a full backup of a Windows 11 system, including user files and system settings. What backup method should they choose? Incremental backup, differential backup, file copy, system image backup, or task scheduler backup? The correct answer is system image backup. A system image backup creates a full copy of the operating system, applications, and files. All right, on to question 15. A user reports that they're receiving access denied errors when trying to delete a file. What is the best tool to resolve the issue? NTFS permissions, Windows Update, Task Manager, Device Manager, or Disk Cleanup? The correct answer is NTFS permissions. NTFS file permissions control access and modification rights for files. All right, on to question 16. A technician needs to verify network connections and troubleshoot connectivity issues. Which command line tool should they use? CHKDSK, disk part, IP config, DXDIAG, or MS config? The correct answer is IP config. IP config displays network configurations and helps troubleshoot connectivity problems. All right, question 17. A user is complaining about slow performance when browsing the web. Other applications work fine. What should the technician check first? Disk fragmentation, browser extensions and cache, monitor refresh rate, Windows activation, or printer driver updates? Correct answer is browser extensions and cache. A large browser cache or excessive extensions can slow down web browsing. All right, question 18. A user complains that their system keeps restarting after installing Windows updates. What's the most likely cause? Overheating CPU? Insufficient storage space? A defective power supply? Or corrupt update files? The correct answer is corrupt update files. A system that restarts repeatedly after an update may have corrupt update files, requiring a rollback or reinstallation. All right, we're almost there. Question 19. A technician needs to encrypt a USB drive for a Windows user. What built-in tool should they use? Windows Defender? BitLocker? Task Scheduler? Disk Cleanup? Or Group Policy Editor? The correct answer is BitLocker. BitLocker encrypts drives in order to protect sensitive data. And finally, let's do question 20. A user reports that they are unable to access the internet, but they can access internal company resources. What is the most likely cause? A faulty Ethernet cable? DHCP server failure? An incorrect IP configuration? Or ISP outage? The correct answer is incorrect IP configuration. If a user can access internal network resources but not the internet, the device likely has an incorrect gateway or DNS configuration. All right, and after 20 questions, that's it for this round of A+ Core 2 practice questions. Nice work getting through it, everybody. If you're working towards your certification, well then be sure to check out more videos on this channel in order to keep building your skills. I've added the link to Skilltestpro in the description and in the first comment so that you can try their practice tests yourself. Thanks for watching, everybody, and I'll see you in the next one. In the meantime, keep on learning, and good luck with your exam.